Now that we've worked with some beats, let's go to the fun stuff, the fills. So we're going to bring in the rest of the drum set here. We're going to first make sure that we understand how to read this. So we're going to go back to the music stanza, which you can also follow along with the legend at the beginning of the book. In the first space, we learned that that's the bass drum. The second space now is going to be a new drum, the floor tom. The floor tom is the big drum that's seated to the right of the snare drum. The third space, of course, is the snare drum, as we've been using before. And then now the fourth space above the snare is going to be the small tom. The small tom is usually placed on top of the bass drum, and it's actually right above the snare. And then, of course, after that is the hi-hat that's on top, which is usually defined by an X. So we got to make sure that we're comfortable with these different drums and where they're placed on the stanza. When we have that, we can go ahead and take a look then at fill 1 and try to kind of work through it. You'll notice that on fill 1, there's also R's and L's written above that. That tells us which hand that we're going to play that drum with. It's very important right now that you follow this sticking because we want your right hand and your left hand to develop evenly. So on fill 1, on beat 1, the first part of it, we're going to hit with our right hand the snare drum and the bass drum. So go ahead and hit the snare drum and bass drum for beat 1. Now, beat 2, we go to that new note, which is on the fourth space, which is our small tom. We're going to hit that with our left hand. So you want to hit that and say 2. Now, let's go to beat 3, which is back to our snare drum with our right hand. We're going to hit that and say 3. Next, we're going to go to the new drum again, which is the floor tom. And we're going to have 2 notes on this time. We're going to have the 4 and the and, which would be a right and a left. So let's put that whole thing together. Let's play our 1, 2, 3, 4 and. After you're comfortable with that, we've got our first fill. So fills are a little bit different than beats. Beats, like we've done on the first 2 pages, we repeat them over and over and over again. Sometimes we'll play a beat 4 times, sometimes we'll play it 16 times, sometimes we'll play it as many as 64 times. Fills, though, are not really repeated. What we use them for is to break up beats or also to transition from one beat to the next. So the order of events that we're going to do with this fill is, and same with all the fills on this page, is first you want to get comfortable with the fill. After you get comfortable with the fill, we want to combine that with one of the beats. You can use any of the beats that you feel comfortable with right now, or you can use the example beat that's written above it. So when you're ready, you want to play the beat 3 times and then go directly into fill 1. After you finish fill 1, go back into that beat again, do it 3 more times, and go back into fill 1 again. So you want to go beat, 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 fill, beat, 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 fill. The most important part about this is not just that you get the beat right and that you get the fill right. You want to get comfortable with the transition from the beat into the fill and from the fill back into the beat. So let's take a look now at fill 1. Notice that we're going to do the beat 3 times, then the fill, beat 3 times again, then the fill. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fill 2, we're going to move this around a little bit. We're going to change up what the beats are, what the timing is, what the notes are, and which drums we're going to use. I'm not going to go beat by beat and explain each one because one of the biggest parts about this page is that you want to be able to figure out which drum you're playing, which hand you're using, and what the timing is. Of course, we've got the play-along videos accompanying this to where you can check and see if you're correct. But before you watch the video, try to figure out the fill for yourself too. So let's try fill 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fill 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fill 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fill 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fill 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fill 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fill 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fill 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fill 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. fill 11. 1, 2, 3, 4. And fill 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. Adding beats with fills is our really first start at being able to understand the drum set as a musical instrument. It's not robotic to where we just do beats or we just do fills. It's the interaction between the two. So make sure that you're really getting comfortable with those transitions and that you're not having any pauses going in and out. Stick with us. Next, we're going to cover some shorter fills.